listening to The Burn. Gaming stuff, blazing fast.
Welcome back to a new episode of The Burn, a podcast about gaming done blazing fast. I'm Aviv Manoach.
And I am Omer Kaplan, and it's been a while.
Yes, a long while. COVID.
And I am to blame.
You're not to blame. COVID is to blame. COVID hit all of us hard, and we had to readjust. I'm actually somewhat happy because it forced it made you be able to record at home and not only from a dedicated working space, which improved our quality of life when it comes to recording podcasts.
All right, so I'm not to blame. COVID is to blame. We all are better for it now. So yeah, I'm excited. We're back.
Yes, indeed, we are back, and we did. I at least did a lot of gaming in the 6 months we took the hiatus. And we'll talk about some of those things. As you may have known from previous episodes, for the few listeners we have. In each episode of the show, we discuss one game we are playing and like or dislike or something. And current news in the gaming industry or this week live streaming industry in general. And you can listen to all previous episodes in theburn.live, which is will take you to the webpage with the feed and everything. And also you can follow us on twitch.tv/icel.me, where I do other shows. And I also started lately streaming creative stuff. I model in Blender, and I do modeling streams from time to time. So that's a thing as well. Are we ready for the adventure?
We are. Yes, let's do it. I'm excited. Let's do it.
So audience, you never saw it coming. Persona 5, I'm going to get the bottom line up front. It's one of my all-time favorite games. I simply adore it.
Big statement.
Yes, I finished it on the 9th. It took me 2 months on the dot. I started, in preparation of this episode, I went over my tweets from the game, and I started on June 9th and finished on August 9th. It took me 135 hours. And
That's crazy.
I'm actually missing it. Like, I spent all day today listening to the music, and I'm missing it. I miss all the character and everything, simply everything in the game.
Yes. 144 hours. Yeah, it's a JRPG experience. So yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go over what is Persona to begin with. It's a game. It's part of a series, which is part of another series. The Persona series is part of the Shin Megami Tensei, which is a very long-running JRPG series, and then it's split to Persona, and now Persona has 5 main titles. 3, 4, and 5 have also special editions, which are actually like the game plus an expansion, but they don't sell the expansion separately like other games. They just sell you the game again, because in the context of a Persona game, there is no way to actually play an expansion without playing the rest of the game, and we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, so there was also like spin-off game. There's a dance game. There is a brawler game, Persona 5 Scramble. There is a Persona Q. It's a huge series. And I first heard about Persona 4 years ago on the Kaplan podcast and on Extra Credits, and I was so happy to see Persona 5 when it came out. Obviously, I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, so I watched it on YouTube, and I got hooked from the beginning. I watched it 2 times on YouTube. 100+ hour playthroughs of this game. When you know everything that is going to happen, and I still watch it again. And then I got a PlayStation, and several months before I did that, they released the Persona 5 Royale, which is the expanded version with the expansion content and all the upgrades. And it wasn't the first thing I played on the PlayStation. That was Uncharted 4, and then I played also Spider-Man. But then I got to Persona. And what can I tell you? It was worth the price of the console alone. Like, if you have a PlayStation, and if you have
you're
JRPG,
full of big statements today.
yes, it's just such an amazing game. So what is actually this game? It's a mix of a life simulator and a JRPG. The big portion of the game is high school students doing day-to-day lives. It's like a slice of life anime series. The whole game is like an anime series that you watch for, 6 seasons or something. They actually made an anime series of Persona 5, and it's only 1 season, and I'm watching it right now, and I have no idea how they can put on the content in a single season. It's mind-boggling. But yeah, you live day to day. The game has a time management aspect. You have days. Each days have 2 segments. You can take 1 action in each segment, be it hanging out with your friends or improve your skills or stuff like that. And then also there is a metacognitive imagination world where you go into dungeons and fight JRPG battles with your persona, which are like Pokemon creatures that you collect and have weaknesses and strength, just like Pokemon. Only instead of fighting like one-on-one battles in regular Pokemon fashion, you have a team of 4 each time, and it gets, I wouldn't say complicated, since the battle system is fairly simple to understand and execute. There isn't that many options overall, but it gets very involved. And the thing is, they did here, one of the things that I think the game does marvelously is the deconstruction of the JRPG. Think of Pokemon. And from the beginning of the game, you have a battle system, and it stays practically the same for the whole game. The things you can do with a level 1 Pokemon, beside learning new attacks and stuff, is the same thing you can do with a level 60 Pokemon. Some Pokemon games introduced a concept of items you can hold and the XP share, but in the latest Pokemon, the XP share is a core part of the game, so that doesn't even matter anymore. So Persona gives you the battle system and strip away a bunch of options. For example, the ability to change your party members during combat. So you can do that in the beginning. You are stuck with the people you selected. You also gain new party members fairly slowly. The game, beside the expansion, has 7 main dungeons, and the first 5 of them, you get new party members with each one. The first dungeon, you start with the protagonist plus 3 characters, and then you get 1 additional one with each new dungeon. And so you can't, at the beginning, change members in combat, and then you have in the game something called the confidence system, or social links, as it's called in previous games, which are people you meet and you need to hang out with and improve your level with them from 1 to 10. And those confidants give you back all the things you need in order to progress the games. For example, the wildly considered best confidant is the star confidant. I don't remember the name of the character. I'm sorry. Which gives you back the ability to change party members during combat. At the beginning, when you level her to like level 2 or 3, I don't remember, you can only do this on the protagonist level turn in combat. So all the party members take their turn, and then you go to the protagonist, and then you can switch out one of the other characters if you want. The problem is that you don't want to do it with the protagonist, because the protagonist has all the strong personas you want to use to attack and do spells with and stuff like that. So it's a waste of your turn. But when you get the star persona to level 10, you can start switching the party members every in their turn. So for example, if I am playing with Anne that has fire attacks and I see that the enemy is immune to fire, next time I get to Anne, I can switch her out with one of the other characters. That's an example for something that is stripped away and you get it back during the game. The same can be said for the ability to share XP. As I said, for Pokemon, the default is that party members that are not participating in combat don't get XP at all. And when you get the Moon persona, a Moon Confidant, to level 10, everyone gets the same amount of XP, etc. A lot of those features are in the game. One of the difference they did between Persona 5 base game and Persona 5 Royale is to take the ability called Baton Pass, which allow you to add an extra turn, give an extra turn to another party member after you do an attack that target an enemy weakness, and it powers up the next attack and stuff. It was the level 2 of all your friends, and in Royale they removed it completely from the confident level and give you that ability automatically, and it improved the start of the game dramatically. It makes the beginning of the game a lot easier. I don't know if less challenging or outright, but certainly more manageable. So that's one of the things they change between the version. We are giving a very limited time for each game on the show, and I did talk about Persona for many episodes of our Hebrew show, and 2 weeks from now I'm going to do an entire episode only on this game. So I made a list of some points, and I will go over them quickly before we move on to the gaming news. But Omer, you wanted to say something?
No, I mean, I'm impressed by your diligence and dedication to what you say is one of the best games you've ever played, and 2, a game that was the price of a PlayStation. So, I mean, hearing you talk, and I've been on the Hebrew show when you talk about it for an hour, I'm almost inclined to play it. I've seen playthroughs, I don't know. I mean, there must be something in there that will get me hooked. I'm almost inclined to just test it out and see how it goes.
People say that the battle system is for the Persona games is a throwaway. I don't agree with that. I think it's a very good battle system, and I like it a lot. The story itself is amazing. It's a story that deals with generational differences and people that are in power taking advantage of the older generations, and a kind of a rebellion against the system, and those sort of themes written very well. The music is amazing. Best soundtrack any game ever, period. Not only it has very good background and combat music, it has entire songs with lyrics playing through the game. Again, akin to an anime series. There are specific themes for each dungeons. There are themes for boss fights. Moving forward to the end of the game, there is a specific theme for the end bosses and stuff like that. And in Royale, they managed to even record new music that is as good as the base game. amazing. I am listening constantly to all of the soundtrack, even after finishing the game. So that's one point. Challenge level, I played on normal. I lowered the difficulty to easy for one specific boss, which was almost impossible to beat in general. But there is safe, which is a difficulty level that you cannot die in, and you also can't switch to other difficulty levels. And there is also hard, and I don't remember the hardest difficulty levels. But if you like challenges, upping the difficulty level will give you that, although the difficulty gets not as challenging the further in the game you progress. The bosses are more gimmicky puzzle-like, and some of the mid battles are more brute force at times. Yeah. Royale add beside the baton pass also traits for Persona, more voice action, which is also good. Not everything in the game is voice acted. There is tons of dialogues, tons of dialogue. Royale added some voice acting, but there's still a big chunk of the game which isn't voice acted. And yeah, there is a bunch more of changes that I won't get into. Also, I will quickly end with the two major issues of the game. One of it is, while the writing is very good, is also very culturally Japanese. There is a bunch of problems with sexism in the game. Although there are plenty of woman characters, there is some problematic themes with them. All of the female characters in the game are placed in a magic user / healer capacity, beside one, which is the expansion character, which finally gave us a woman that is also a physical attack character, like the two men in the group. And also... part of the themes of the series as a whole, there is a bunch of demons with very, very, very strong phallic symbolism. Not even symbolism. There are giant dicks in the game. I'm not kidding. Go and type into Google Persona Mara and see a giant dick sitting on a golden chariot. That's what
Thank you for sending me that. Thank you for sending me that at 7 a.m. This was great to open my morning with. I wasn't sure what I'm looking at, so I had to like zoom in. I was like, why is it sending me the... okay, I got it. Yeah, okay. And then I had my coffee and everything was fine.
Yeah, so yeah, Mara is one of the most prominent ones. There is a bunch of statues, like you can get figurines of it. It's one of the most famous personas in the series, but there's a bunch more. Like in level 10 or something, there is Succubus and Incubus has just a giant dick. It's just there. You can't look at it any other way. So yeah, despite the fact that the game is written very well, it has specific cultural hangups, which I hope will be improved in the future. But what can you do? So that's it. I give 1,000,000 stars to Persona 5. If you have a PlayStation 4, buy it. If you don't have a PlayStation 4, get a PlayStation 4, because by now there are tons of games that are worth the price beside Persona. And I really can't recommend it more. It's just, I like it so much. I spent a couple of hours today designing a tattoo based on a logo from the game.
Oh. Well, that's it. Okay, you gotta send me that. Don't send the
don't
send me the bosses. Send me the good stuff.
Yeah, so that's that. Let's switch up to news.
Yeah, let's talk about something that's not. Yeah, all right. So what if I told you that nothing can surprise me in 2020. But what if I told you that in 2020 you're gonna get a traditional TV channel that is kind of like leaning towards gaming and gamers, and specifically what people call the Gen Z generation. Isn't that like a huge cringe fest? Just hearing about it.
Like if I open up
Let's say if I told
my
you,
cable
you,
TV
hey,
and I get a channel on channel 258 that is dedicated to gaming. That's what you're saying?
yes. Yep. Yeah. I tell you, hey, why don't you open your TV? And then you open it, and there's a channel for video games.
Well, I don't know if I call it cringy, but I wouldn't open my TV to begin with. So, yeah.
So yeah. No. So I read about a new TV channel. Well, it's not even a channel. It's kind of like, well, we'll talk about what it is exactly, but it's a traditional TV venture called Ven. So you can go to ven.tv and see it for yourself. I think it's streamable worldwide. It's essentially a dedicated channel for all things gaming. It's very traditional, like in the model of there's shows, there's schedules, they have the same cast, and then the shows they range from pure gaming to kind of like talk shows to design to fitness to but it all revolves around gaming. It has this like gaming-ish atmosphere to it. They actually managed to get a really nice cast. So there's a lot of like streaming personalities there. There's like known figures in the esports scene. There's Sasha Grace there doing a late night-ish show, which is kind of cool. So I went into it. So when I read about it, I thought to myself, "Oh my god, this is gonna be so cringy." But like when looking at the cast, I was like, maybe it's something in there. And I gotta say, it's really, really nice breakaway from the creator, oriented content that you just open Twitch and see whatever game you want. Over there, it's more, you see, it's kind of like a meta programming. You see the same people from casting, but in full-on, highly produced, super polished experience. Just like talk about gaming, and like play multiplayer every now and then, but it's kind of, I don't know. I kind of like it. It was really nice to just look at it when do other things. Just have it in the background. It doesn't give you your favorite games. It's not going like into really hardcore experience. So it's don't expect to see like a full League of Legends analysis or whatever esports breakdowns. But it's more like the gaming culture, and obviously everybody that are wearing like super awkward gaming headphones all the time. So
That's what I'm watching it. I opened the website and I'm watching it. So first of all,
good.
Well, it's a produced content channel, we'll call it, but the fact that they are on TV is negligent, since they're also on Twitch. It doesn't matter.
I think the model is very traditional. So instead of like you opening, Twitch and viewing your favorite game, now you have like scheduled and shows, and you have to tune in. You have to tune in for a specific show.
Yeah, but first of all, almost every successful channel on Twitch has schedule. They even implemented a schedule feature for the channels. Like it's a best practice to have an actual schedule, and most variety channels will say on Friday I'm going to stream this and that game, etc. Co-Carnage has, from way back in the day, he has 2 segments in the day, like from 8 a.m. to 12, and then from 1 to I don't remember. And nowadays he also have a late night chill stream. So each day when you tune in to Ko's channel, you get 3 games, which are different every time. Well, every other week or something, depending on how quickly you finish it. So that's something that I don't think is unique to television, quote unquote. But I get what you're saying. They have studios, they have better production quality, they have a team of hosts, etc. BuzzFeed does something similar with BuzzFeed multiplayer. Before COVID, they actually had a studio in the offices. I'm following Kelsey in Pichake, which is one of the hosts. And before COVID, she would go to the offices and she will stream from there, etc. But nowadays, since COVID, they all do it from home. But yeah, I love to see the production quality. Right now, there is someone working in a modeling program, and everything is just so polished. And
everything.
I love it.
Yeah, that's like a really, really nice production quality. Like, really, really nice. It's a nice, it's a nice like breakaway from just looking at Twitch and seeing people play video games. Now you're here and you're getting like a really like complete experience, especially in the studio. And then sometimes they have like interactive stuff you can do, kind of like polls and stuff like that. So it's nice. The question is like, does it have like longevity? Like, do I tune into this thing every day? I'm not entirely sure. But I mean, it's nice. It's a nice thing to have. I wonder how how consistent that's going to be, and how's the viewership, and can they actually get a following the same way like big streamers are following. But it's interesting. It's a new thing right now. It's riding the novelty train. So it's really nice. But I wonder if I in a week am I still tuning into it? I don't know.
We'll see. They launched a week ago, and they currently have like 120 concurrent viewers, which is nice, low top tier viewership. They also use stream elements, so everything's cool.
It's good.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. We are so used to the low barrier to entry on live streaming, and it produce a product that is, well, I don't know if low quality is the right word here, but less polish, more homegrown, grassroots, etc. And not a lot of channels take the steps to improve their quality after they get big. Like most streamers will go from their 10 viewers to their 1,000 viewer, and their experience will stay probably the same. Some very rare channels go and upgrade their stack and their experience and stuff like that. But also nowadays, when everyone is with a green screen, you have a video and you have the head of someone, and that's it.
This thing is pretty polished. It has like director. It's directed. There's multiple cameras. Yeah. It's your full-on traditional TV experience. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see where it goes and how it evolves. Right now they finished working on this design program. Now they're playing some game I don't even know. No, it's cool. It's actually saying on the bottom. It's ageless. I don't know what that is. Looks cool though. So cool. Yeah. Talk to me in 2 weeks. We'll see if I'm still tuning into it. Probably not, but yeah, it's a nice thing to have.
Yeah. To be honest, if you weren't talking about it in the podcast, I probably wouldn't have checked their channel. We did talk about it in the company Slack when they launched, but it didn't look like anything interesting until now. So yeah.
I mean, I'll give it a go. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll try.
I mean,
we'll see.
Yeah, the cast is really nice though. Like the cast is, they managed to get like really nice people.
Great.
So
okay,
we'll see. All right, cool. So yeah, that's what I got for you.
Great. So that's it for the show today. We talked about Persona. We talked about Vent TV. And we are closing. That's all we have on the show. Thanks for listening. You can find us online on Twitter. I'm at Icel and Omer is at Omer Kaplan. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and comment and leave your reviews on your preferred listening app. And you can find all the previous episodes at theburn.live, including links to subscribe with your favorite apps. And our opening theme, was created by Ann Dorco, with vocals by Fishy Twitch, both on Twitter as well. All the links are also in the episode description. Thank you, Omer.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
And that's
I'm
it.
kind of invited myself.
That's also fine. And we'll talk more next time. Bye-bye for now.
All right, see ya.